Hi, this is Miss Camp. Prepositions are an important part of English, but it is not always easy to know which preposition is the best one to use. It will get easier the more that you read English and listen to English. Then you will start using the correct preposition without even thinking about it. You will just know which one sounds right. In yesterday's lesson, we were talking about prepositions of time. We were looking at in, on, and at. And I said that we use in if the time is less specific, if it is a big amount of time. A big amount of time might be a whole month, like in January or in April. We also talked about the amount of time that is 10 years, which we call a decade. And so we looked at something like in the 1980s or in the 80s. We looked at a century, which was 100 years. We said in the 21st century. So we use the preposition in for a really big amount of time. And then when it gets more specific, we would use at, like at 8:30 or at 12 o'clock. And for on, we said we use it for a day of the week. This is in the middle, like on Monday or on Wednesday or on a specific day, like on January 24th. But I noticed when I looked at this chart something that was a little confusing. Take a look here at in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. That is a smaller amount of time than on a whole day, like on Sunday. All day Sunday is more time than just in the evening. So I wanted to explain this in a little different way. We're going to look at time in two ways. First with the clock and then with the calendar. A calendar is when we look at the month or the year or the day or the date. So if we look at the clock, just the clock for a minute, let's change that to, there we go. If we're going to look at just the clock, and we start with most specific, the most specific time we can use with the clock is at a specific time like 8 o'clock. We would say at 8 o'clock. Noon is also a specific time. Noon means 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We would say at noon. Night is sort of a strange one. Night does not seem very specific to me, but with the word night, we always say at. We say at night. We do not say in night or on night. We always say at night. But if you have the number of the hour, that is very specific, and we would say at 8 o'clock. For words like, we have some special words in English for 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we say noon, at noon. 12 o'clock in the middle of the night is midnight. We would say at midnight. We also have a special word for when the sun comes up in the morning. That's the word dawn. We say at dawn. And we have a special word for when the sun goes down at night. That is sunset. We say at sunset. A less specific amount of time on the clock is when we're talking about the hours of the morning, or the hours of the afternoon, or the hours of the evening. So for this we say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. The morning is from the time the sun comes up until 12 o'clock lunchtime, 12 o'clock noon. So the morning would be the hours that are here. In the afternoon, and that would be from the time the sun comes up until lunchtime. In the afternoon, it is from lunchtime, noon, 12 o'clock, until about 6 o'clock in the evening. And in the evening, it's after supper and before we go to bed. So in the evening might be from 6 o'clock in the evening until 10 o'clock at night. That would be our evening. So when we are looking at the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, we do use the word the in front of it. We do not say in morning, in afternoon, in evening. We say the, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. That is looking at the clock at the time of the day, and morning, afternoon, and evening is a bigger amount of time of the day than just 1 hour. If we know the hour, we say at 2:15, at 3:30, at noon, at midnight, at dawn, at sunset. And then we have this interesting one right here. I don't know why my clock is moving. With night. With night, we say at night. All right, let's look over here at the calendar. With the calendar, we use, one more thing I will say about the clock. With the clock, when we're looking at a specific day and we're talking about the hours of that day, we are using in, or we are using in, or we are using at. We are not using on. But when we come over here to looking at the calendar, which is looking at what day of the week, what day of the month, what year, we are going to use the prepositions in or on. We are not going to use at. So the most general, or the biggest amount of time, is if we are talking about a month of the year, like April, we could say in April. If we are talking about a year, that's a big amount of time, we would say in 1985. If we are talking about a decade, a group of 10 years, we could say in the 80s. If we are talking about 100 years, a group of 100 years, or a century, we could say in the 21st century. You can see that we use the word the when we have century, in the 21st century. We do not say in 21st century. We say in the 21st century, in April, in 1985, in the 80s. These are big amounts of time. A month, a year, a decade, a century. If we are looking at just one day or a specific day of the calendar, if I look up here at my calendar and I say I'm talking about this day right here, whoops, I would use the preposition on. I would say on Saturday, on May 4th, on. Now this one I want you to take a look at. This one is a morning, but we say what day of the week. If we are going to say what day of the week, we're going to use on. So on Sunday morning. on Sunday morning is a little bit more specific than just in the morning. So we say on Sunday morning, on Saturday, on May 4th, on Sunday morning. I have one more example for you down here, which is on the morning of May 4th. On the morning of May 4th. This is more specific than just in the morning. It is not as specific as saying the time of day. So we say on the morning of May 4th. So once again, if we are using the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, we say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. If we are talking about a specific time of day, we say at. The really big amounts of time when we're looking at the calendar, we say in April, in 1985, in the 80s, in the 21st century. And if it's a day of the week, we always say on Saturday, or a date, which is a specific day on the calendar. We would say on May 4th. And even though the morning of Sunday is a little more specific than just Sunday, we still say on Sunday morning. We keep at for if we know exactly what the hour is. Night is a tricky one. Usually we say at night, especially if we are doing something. For example, we could say, I do my homework at night. We could also say, I do my homework in the evening. But we could say, I do my homework at night. We would not say, I do my homework in the night. However, you can sometimes use in with night. If you're going to do that, you have to use the. You have to say in the night. And you would probably be talking about something that happens when you are sleeping, or something that is really after you have gone to bed. You could say, I heard a sound in the night. But you would probably say, I heard a sound in the middle of the night. Usually with night, we use at. You might see it sometimes with in, but if we are doing something, we would say at. We would say, the stars shine at night. I do my homework at night. Although you might use in the evening more often. Okay, I want to talk for a minute about the preposition to and at. Here's a picture of a playground. If we are at the playground, we would say, we are at the playground. Why do we use at? Well, at is because with playground, this is a pretty specific place. We know where we are if we say we are at the playground. So because we know where we are and it's more specific, we do not say that we are in the playground. We do not say that we are on the playground. We say we are at the playground. But that does not mean that anytime we want to use a prepositional phrase with the playground that we use at. We would not say we go at the playground. We would say we are at the playground, but we go to the playground. How do we know if we should use to the playground, or at the playground? It depends on if we are there or if we are moving, if we are in the process of moving. So let's pretend that we are here at our house and we are going to move, go, walk, or drive to the playground. We are moving from here to here. So then we use the preposition to. This shows that we are moving from one place to another place. But with the preposition at, we are already there. So we say that we are at the playground because we are already there. We go to the playground if we are moving from one place to another place. Here is our campsite that we were looking at yesterday. If we are already at the campsite, here's my person at the campsite, two people, we would say we are at the campsite. But if we are not at the campsite and we are in our car and we are going to the campsite, we would say we go to the campsite. For the dentist, we would say we go to the dentist, but if we are already there, we are at the dentist. We use the preposition at because it is a specific place. We know where we are. We are at the dentist. We go, which is moving, to the dentist. Here is the post office. If we are already there, we say we are at the post office. It is a specific place. We know where we are. If we are on our way and we are moving and going to the dentist, if we are over here and we are going to the post office, we say that we go to the post office. Here is a school. If we are already at the school, we say we are at school. If we are not at school yet, but we are in the car or walking or on our bike or on the bus and we are going, we would say we go to school. Do you notice something different about these sentences than going to the dentist or being at the dentist? When we are at the dentist, we use the word the because dentist is just one place. School is also just one place. We do not have an S at the end of schools. But with school, we do not use the word the. We do not say we are at the school. We do not say we go to the school. The reason for this is because in English we use the word school so much that it is special. With this word, we do not have to use a or the. We can just say school by itself, even though it is just one. So we say we are at school, we go to school. This special rule is also for the words work and home. So for school, work, and home, we do not have to use a or the. We can just use the word by itself, even though it is singular, just one. Let's look at work. Here are some people at work. Instead of saying we, maybe I will say they, since we are not in that picture. So we say they go to work, they are at work. In this picture, we would say that they are at work because they are already there. We would say they go to work if they are moving from their house to their work. We would say they go to work. With to, think of an arrow. They are moving. With home, it is even more special. Home is just one. It is where we live. If we are going home, we could say just we go home. We do not say we go to home. All we have to say, we don't put anything here. All we have to say is we go home. We do not need a preposition for that. If we are already at home, we can either say we are at home or we can just say we are home. Either one is okay. We are at home, we are home. This is the one that is special because we do not have to use the preposition to. If we are going home, we just say we go home. We cannot do that with work and school. We cannot say we go work, we go school. With work and school, it's a little special because we do not have to say or the. We can just say we go to work, we go to school. But with home, we can just say we go home. Now, home and house are not the same. I want to show you how it's different with house. House is not like saying home. House is just the building. It is the place. So with house, there is nothing special about it. We cannot even just say we go to house. We would have to, in this word, just like dentist or playground or post office, we would have to use a or the. Now, if we say a, then we don't really know which house we're going to. So for this one, we would say we go to our house, or my house, or your house. So we would say we go to our house. If we are already there, we cannot say we are at house. Again, we would have to say, we would need a little word to say which house are we at. So we would say we are at our house, or your house, or my house, or their house. So if we are using house, there is nothing special. We need to say to if we're going there, and at if we are already there. And we need to use a little word to tell us which house are we talking about. But if we are using home, then it is special. In fact, if we are going home, we just say we go home. And if we are already there, we say we are at home. The last preposition I want to talk about is on and in. This is an interesting preposition because for a car, if we are in a car, we say in. We are in a car. We are in our car. But we do not say we are in a bus or in a train or in a plane or in a ship. We say on for these. We are on a bus. We are on a train. We are on a plane. We are on a ship. We also use on if we are riding our bike. We say, I am on my bike. So we use on for all of these: bus, train, plane, ship, and bike. The one that we use the word in for is a car. We do not say we are on a car. We are in a car. Okay, that's it for prepositions today. Thanks for listening.